It's like an end of an era inside of Buffalo City Hall. Mayor Byron Brown announced that he is going to be resigning. I had a chance to sit down with him for almost an hour, and we talked about things from the beginning all the way until now. Alrighty, so let's get this 66 years old, 62nd mayor of the city of Buffalo, sworn in, I believe it's December 31st of 2005, correct? Yes. And now you are getting ready to leave City Hall?
I've signed the contract to accept the position of President and CEO of Western Regional OTB. 5
terms, and obviously you're not finishing out this 5th term. Should I ask the question why you don't want to be mayor anymore?
I have loved serving the people of the city of Buffalo as mayor. After 19 years as mayor, my wife Michelle and I felt it was time to transition to a new opportunity.
We have heard in political circles people always use the term shelf life. Do you feel you've hit it?
I don't feel like I've hit it in terms of the support from the people of Buffalo. The people of Buffalo have always been incredibly warm and supportive. In fact, a few months ago, I conducted a poll to see if I could run for office. The polling was good, so I don't feel necessarily at a point of shelf life, but I think change is good for communities, it's good for people, and one of the things that attracted me to the President and CEO position at OTB was the ability to not just help one municipality, but the ability to assist financially 17 municipalities in Western New York. Since 1974, Western Regional OTB has distributed nearly $300 million to the 17 member municipalities that make up the board of that organization. And in the last 4 years in the city of Buffalo, that amount has almost been $3 million. I'm hoping to be able to increase those proceeds for all of the member municipalities that make up the Western Regional OTB board.
It sounds so odd, though. We're thinking about Mayor Byron Brown, always in the suit and tie, handling city business, and at times handling it like a boss, and now we're going to harness racing and betting. Are you qualified for that?
Well, I have significant management experience. I've managed the city of Buffalo, which is the 2nd largest city in the state of New York, an over $600 million municipal corporation with over 3,000 employees through some of the most difficult challenges our city has faced. So I feel equipped for this management role. Western Regional OTB is a business. The purpose of this business is to raise money for the member organizations, for public education, and I believe that I have the skills and ability to help this organization do that.
What attracted you to OTB?
I think one of the things that really attracted me is the responsibility of the organization to provide revenue that goes to 17 different municipalities, 15 counties, and the city of Buffalo and Rochester. And the organization has been doing that since 1974. And I can tell you from my perspective as mayor of the city of Buffalo, that additional revenue that comes from OTB is important in our bottom line in the city, and I'm sure it is to the other 16 municipalities that receive revenue from OTB.
And as president, you're going to get a nice salary, a nice bump, a nice raise. Some people have balked at that. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is the position was advertised between $280,000 to $320,000. I applied for the position. It was a very competitive process. The board selected me unanimously for the position. The board is made up of an 18 county geographic area. 17 municipalities are members of the board, and the board chose the compensation package. The board has to compete with other gaming and resort type businesses in our region and beyond, and the board felt that that was the going rate for a president and CEO to do the work that's required for this corporation.
And I know you have to still get your gaming license. Is that that's obviously in the works, right? You don't have it
That
just
is
yet?
in the works. I applied for the gaming license several weeks ago. It is an incredibly detailed financial application. You have to provide 5 years of taxes, your social security number, all your checking and savings account information, spouse's checking and savings account information, family information, and on and on and on. It's like a 48-page application that is intensely reviewed by the State Gaming Corporation. And I just read a few days ago in one of the local media that the State Gaming Corporation saw no impediments to my license being approved. That was good news to be able to read in the media. I haven't been told that yet, but felt good about completing the application, was able to answer all of the questions. Incredible scrutiny that this organization does for people that work in the gaming industry. And I'm looking forward to the application being approved once it's completed and receiving my gaming license.
Before we move on to some other topics, I just wanted to ask you about OTB because often you don't hear much about it, and then when you do hear about it, people will say that it's, you know, a political dumping ground, mired in corruption. Are you going to be there to clean up if there's any mess happening there? And what do you plan to do differently to make it more attractive?
Well, it is a business, and I'm not going there to be a politician. I'm going there to be a business executive and run that organization completely like a business. The one thing that I found is it is a very nice environment. It is a resort type environment, and it is a very profitable corporation. In fact, the last 2 years, the corporation has earned record profits. So this isn't a failing organization. It's not a struggling organization. It is a financially very profitable organization that delivers resources to 17 municipalities in Western New York.
It's very interesting. But you're leaving the city of Buffalo at a time when they are not doing well financially. There's going to be a deficit well, there's a deficit, right? The city is struggling right now. How do you feel about that? That you're going to some place that is thriving, but you're leaving some place that you were the head of for so many years, and now they got to find their way out of a major deficit.
So I think people have to look at my management of the city over the 19 years that I've managed the city. And when I first came into office as mayor, there were very significant financial challenges, much greater than we have right now. I was able to stabilize the finances of the city of Buffalo, which enabled me to lift the wage freeze on city employees, which enabled us to stimulate over $10 billion of economic development in the city of Buffalo, creating thousands of jobs in the city and region for people from Buffalo and Western New York. The challenges that the city faces now fiscally, there is a path out of those challenges. I've proposed a number of things that some have rejected. If those proposals that I have made over the years were accepted by some members of the city council, the fiscal situation of the city would be very different. But I believe there is a path out of the fiscal challenges that the city is experiencing right now. When I came into office, there was no rainy day fund. Now the city of Buffalo has a rainy day fund of $43 million. My fiscal management built that. So there isn't a fiscal crisis in the city of Buffalo. There are fiscal challenges, but I don't see it as a crisis.
Although some of the council members would probably say just the opposite. They call it a crisis.
Well, if it is a crisis, it's man-made. It's not a crisis because it is real. There are decisions that some of those members could have made and refused to make them. Even in this current budget, I proposed a certain tax increase. Some of the council members were insistent on reducing that tax increase. People talk about making tough decisions. You can't talk about making tough decisions in one breath and in the other breath refuse to make tough decisions. There are things that can be done to address and stabilize the finances of the city of Buffalo, and I am confident that with the proper leadership that those decisions will be made.
Many people have applauded the accomplishments you've made in the city when it comes to the waterfront, canal side, but yet some of the neighborhoods are still struggling. You do drive through parts of East Buffalo, the east side, not far from where you live. We've driven down those streets. We've walked those streets even for Juneteenth, and they just have not improved. Is that something that you wish you would have been able to do better or to make more improvements?
Significant money has gone into the east side of Buffalo since I've been mayor. I've lived on the east side of Buffalo my entire time as mayor of the city of Buffalo. In fact, I've been an east side homeowner for more than 30 years, so those are my streets. I walk those streets. My family walks those streets. I drive those streets. When I came into office, there were thousands of vacant and abandoned structures throughout the city of Buffalo, most of them on the east side of Buffalo. We demolished over 8,000 of those vacant, unsalvageable structures, many of them that were not safe, that were a danger to surrounding homes. That's no longer the case on the east side of Buffalo. I have a plan for Jefferson Avenue in the east side of Buffalo where we've assembled $150,000 to start spending in that area of the city of Buffalo. So spending has occurred on the east side, and much more spending will occur in the future.
You hope, right? You hope it continues?
I'm confident that it will continue because we've allocated that money. That money is in place. Planning has been done. In fact, some of the money has already begun to be spent. So I am confident that it will move forward. I think we have a council president who will become acting mayor, who is committed to progress in all sections of the city of Buffalo, including the east side of Buffalo.
Chris Scanlon, you're talking about, if he decides that he wants to actually run, will you endorse him?
Well, again, I don't think people are looking for me to be overly political now, particularly.
But you have a voice. Your voice is strong.
Well, I do have a voice. Obviously, I think he is capable of leading the city of Buffalo. I think he will be a strong leader for the city of Buffalo. And if I didn't think that, I would not be making this decision to leave the mayor's office early.
It's funny that you hear so many names coming out, but then I thought about Garnell Whitfield, who was somebody that you appointed as a fire commissioner. What about him as a mayor of the city of Buffalo?
I have great respect for Garnell Whitfield. I think he did a great job as Commissioner of Fire for the city of Buffalo. He and I have been close for a number of years. He is a very capable individual.
Let me ask you this, just a couple more topics before we get to your legacy. I want you to talk to those who voted for you, the people of Buffalo, because so many of them worked hard on that write-in campaign to make sure that you retain your seat as mayor of the city of Buffalo. And I heard from a few people, and then even the once former poet laureate said, did you know all along that you were not going to fulfill your term? There is that concern out there in the community that when you went for your 5th term, you knew all along that you were not going to serve it out. Did you know that?
Of course I did not know that all along. And I can say during my entire tenure as mayor, I have had other job offers and opportunities the entire time. I've had the opportunity to move into the private sector and make more money. I've had the opportunity to go to other levels of government and make more money, but I was committed to the work that I was doing and the growth that we were seeing in the city of Buffalo. Now, during that last campaign, I was quite clear that I thought that opponent was totally unsuitable to be mayor of the city of Buffalo. And I ran that write-in campaign to save the city, to salvage the city from someone that I thought, if they ever got to that office, did not have the temperament, didn't have the experience, didn't have the preparation for the office of mayor, and would have run our city into the ground. That was one of the reasons that I worked so hard, and I think that was one of the reasons why people all across the city and all across the region joined with me to win that historic write-in campaign with over 38,000 votes.
You're getting ready to resign now. Should it have been announced a little bit earlier so that there could have been a special election with the way things work out? Maybe if there was a special election, it wouldn't have to go right to your council president. You know, others who were interested, others who were qualified could have gotten in the game.
Well, I think the application process for this job was the application process. Me applying for this job wasn't set to any election timeline or schedule. When the job opening was announced and available, I applied. You know, that didn't correspond with a certain political calendar, but certainly anybody that wants to run for mayor can do so. There will be a primary election next year in June. There will be a general election next year in November. So my making the decision to accept this position does not preclude anybody from being able to run for office. And even if I had stayed into the next year, that wouldn't preclude, that wouldn't stop anybody from running for mayor if they want to do so.
And you know people were going to be lining up to do so probably, right?
Quite possibly. I think probably some would see it as more difficult to do if I was still there and running. But I think in a transitional period like this, there will be people who will line up and there will be people who will run.
Legacy, first black mayor, longest serving mayor of the city of Buffalo. Has this job tired you out? Are you exhausted?
I'm not exhausted. I'm not tired, but I have given this job every ounce of energy, every ounce of commitment that I have. I've given it my all for almost 20 years. And I did that because I love Buffalo, I love its people, and I wanted to see the city be all that it can be.
I remember asking you before during a debate, how would you rate your job as a mayor? And I remember at one point you said an A, and during big events you said an A. And I remember saying to you, Mayor, are you serious? You're really going to give yourself an A? But looking back at your career, How do you grade your performance as the mayor of the city of Buffalo?
I think looking back on my performance now as I am prepared to leave office after 19 plus years of service, it's really up to the people of Buffalo to judge me and to judge my performance. And I think as the years go forward, when people are able to look back and understand everything that has been accomplished, they'll judge my performance very favorably.
Highs as a mayor, what have been the high points for you as a mayor?
Well, certainly one of the high points was coming into a city that was fiscally challenged, being able to stabilize the finances of the city, being able to lift that wage freeze on city employees that had not received raises in years, and that led to us being able to create an environment to stimulate over $10 billion of development in this city, creating thousands of jobs for the residents of Buffalo and Western New York.
The low points.
You know, a low point for me right now is leaving the office of mayor of the city of Buffalo. I have loved the opportunity to serve the community that I live in. And people have been very kind and very supportive and very helpful to me in being able to do my best in this job. So I leave with high hopes and optimism for the future, but it also is a low point leaving something that I love and I've received tremendous support to do.
Was there any hesitation?
Over the years, I've been offered other opportunities. Other opportunities have come up. I've hesitated and said no before. Certainly, this was a tough decision, but looking at this decision with my wife, we made the decision that this was the right time to transition to a new opportunity.
And when we think about some of the low points when you served as mayor, you can't help but think about the Black Lives protests that happened, somebody throwing something in the city hall, 514, deadly blizzard, and just some of the other things. And then the racial tension and divide, because that is still here in the city of Buffalo. Thoughts on those things and how you wish the future can be, because there is a segment of Buffalo that look to you as the first Black mayor, and maybe he's there for, yes, all of Buffalo, but he's somebody who looks like us. And now they won't have that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but yet there's still that tension in the community. Address that, because I look at things like an Our City Action Network, and you know, they're saying, goodbye, Mr. Brown, goodbye. But you laugh about it, but I'm sure you've seen some of their posts.
I haven't seen any of their posts.
What do you say to groups like that, and just the public who, you've had some tough things that have happened in the city?
Well, that is the challenge of leadership. That is the challenge of managing. None of those things did I create. You know, deadly snowstorms, the unrest after the death of George Floyd, the horrific 5/14/2022 mass murder at the Top Supermarket on Jefferson Avenue. But those were challenges, those were crises that required leadership, that required someone to stand up and be able to help lead the community through those times. I was able to do that with the support of a lot of residents in this community. I'm proud of the fact that I have hired the most diverse administration in the history of the city of Buffalo. So now if people walk around the halls of this city municipal building, If they walk to other city facilities, they will see people that look like them.
Are you concerned that it may change, or will it not change? We know that Chris Scanlon is from South Buffalo, and of course there's that mindset out there that City Hall's returning to South Buffalo. It's not going to be the same. Will there still be a diversity of commissioners?
You know, I have heard that, but Chris Scanlon is a good man who cares about people. And I have been able to work with him in his capacity as South District Council member for 12 years. I have seen his care and concern certainly for his district, but people across the entire city of Buffalo. I am hopeful and confident that he will do the right thing for the entire city. All people want to be represented. All people want to see themselves reflected in the government that works for them, and I'm confident that Chris Scanlon understands that.
And it just came to my mind where someone asked me, you know, ask the mayor, is this payback to South Buffalo because they came out so strong for you during the write-in campaign?
That's an interesting question. I think people came out so strongly because they wanted to save their city. I think people came out so strongly because they saw one person they felt was qualified and one person that they thought was not qualified. And again, the timing of this and me doing this is because I feel that Chris Scanlon is prepared to lead. I think he has the experience to lead, and I think he has the concern and compassion for the residents of this community to lead.
I'm sure you spoke with your commissioners to explain to them that you're going to be leaving. What did they have to say? And then just one other off-topic thing regarding, I know the FBI, when they came in and raided City Hall, that definitely had to be a low point for you. Nobody wants to see the feds coming into City Hall. Your thoughts on that? Is it over?
So I will say yes. I spoke to every commissioner, deputy commissioner, director, and told them of my decision, told them what I was going to be doing. They thanked me for my years of service to the city. They thanked me for the opportunity that I had given them to serve the city. And I certainly appreciated the kindness of the commissioners, them wishing me well in the future, and certainly I wish all of them well in the future. In terms of the federal agency coming into the building, it was never quite clearly communicated to me why that occurred. Nothing came of it. It is more than 19 years now, and I feel that that is a closed chapter.
How hard is it going to be to not come to City Hall?
I think as in anything, you know, I was a city council member, then I became a state senator. I didn't come to City Hall then as frequently as before. And then when I left the state senate and going to Albany every week and became mayor, I didn't go to Albany as frequently anymore. I don't think it will be difficult not to come to City Hall. I won't be leaving the city. I will still be a resident of the east side of Buffalo.
So no plans on moving?
No plans on moving whatsoever. I will still be an active member of this community, and that's what I encourage every resident to be, an active member, contributing member of the community that helps us get better, helps us get stronger. So that's what I will do. So no, I won't be coming to City Hall every day, sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, but I will continue to love Buffalo, to contribute to Buffalo, and live on the east side of Buffalo.
As we wrap this up, if you can just talk to the people of the city of Buffalo, those who loved you and those who are saying, bye-bye, Byron, what do you say to them?
Well, I say to the people of Buffalo, thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve. Thank you for your awesome and overwhelming support. Because if not for the support of the people of Buffalo, I would not be sitting here as the longest serving mayor of the city of Buffalo in its history. I say to the people that Buffalo is a great city. We have to continue to believe in Buffalo, and if we believe in our city, if we believe in Buffalo, it will continue to get stronger, it will continue to grow. And my message to every single Buffalonian is love one another, care about one another. We live in a time where there's too much anger and bitterness and nastiness. We don't have to agree on every single thing, but let's love each other as members of the human family and wish the best for each other. I wish the best for every single person in this community and every single human being.
Do you think we'll see you again in politics?
That's not my plan. You know, my plan is to...
Washington, if Washington calls?
No, that's not my plan. You know, my plan is to go into the private sector.
Mayor Brown, thank you so much for sitting down and speaking with us.
Thank you, Claudine.
Mayor Byron Brown plans to resign and officially leave city government this month, the month of October. Thank you so much for watching WGRZ Plus. I'm Claudine Ewing.